I believe that the Mexican government owes President Trump an apology and referring to him as Adolf Hitler. I don't like that. I think that's wrong. And the reason being is because that's his job. His job is to protect the border. His job ain't to kiss nobody's ass. Because you don't like what he's doing. Nah, his job is to protect the border. That's his job. You know, and everybody knows the southern border from California all the way east, that people cross that border when they get ready. They cross the border when they get ready. They come when they want to and they leave when they want to. So what the president is saying is that enough is enough. But he want to build a wall. Well, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? And for the people who say that they won't comply, I don't know if I could go along with that either. If that's the law, you comply with everything else. See, the reality is, for the colleges and the universities, the reality is that they didn't want black kids there. The rumor had it that at Wayne State University that they didn't want blacks there because it wouldn't be a good look for their university. That's always been the rumor. I had heard that. Look at the statistics. Look at the statistics for the last 40 years in a city that's over 70% black. Seems like over there, I'm not knocking nobody else. Just call it what it is. If the school system couldn't give you the proper students or the students that could do the work, they never said nothing. They never reached out. But now that the president is calling for a ban or whatever he's calling for, now you want to say something about it. Is that right? And the blacks who go along with that bullshit, look at your district. Cory Booker, John Conyers, any of them, pick one. And look at their district. Look at their district and see what you see. In terms of employment, in terms of education, housing, all of it is not the government's fault. We need to, everything President Trump said ain't wrong. I didn't vote for him, true enough, but everything he's saying ain't wrong now. I think he's right on the immigration issue. He has to draw the line. You have to have a strong border. And nobody should be admitted into the country unless every citizen who wants an opportunity has an opportunity. And out in the black community, we sending more people to prison. And have been for the last 40, 50 years. So, now you owe to, if they call the president Hitler because he wants the border, what are they going to say about us? And anybody else? You can't call the United States president a Hitler. He ain't killed 6 million people. The policies that he wants to institute won't kill 6 million people. Anybody who says it will is just not being truthful, to say the least. If you look at the black politicians, and look at their districts, as I said before, look at the University of Michigan, who say, well, we won't comply, we won't do this, and we won't do that. Yet you got a city like Detroit, Flint, and others, you know, where if a kid graduates from high school, they can't go to U of M. They can't go to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor because they don't qualify. And the reason why they don't qualify is because of the local school board, the local politicians. Every seat that an immigrant has could be filled by somebody that lives in Detroit or Flint or Pontiac, if they qualify. Every kid who graduates from high school wants to go to the big colleges. You know that. We all know that. They want to go to the U of M. They want to go to Harvard and Yale and all that, and Princeton. They want to work for Microsoft and make that big money, but they don't qualify. Well, why don't they qualify? Somebody said. Because nobody's putting pressure on the schools, including the politicians that's yelling out and calling the president Hitler and all that bullshit. You don't call him Hitler. You don't do that. That's wrong. Until he act like Hitler. And asking for a strong border is not acting like Hitler. It's not acting like Hitler. I'm sorry. If they bringing dope in across the Mexican border and that dope ends up in the black community and some kid starts using it, that's Hitler. That's more like Hitler than what he doing. Here's a kid who don't know no better, gets hooked on narcotics, selling it or using it. By the time they realize what the hell they doing, is they addicted. The only path for them is prison or early death. That's the same as killing 6 million Jews. Now, who in the fuck is Hitler now? Who is Hitler now? A kid who can't get a decent education, graduates from high school, can't get a decent job because they can't read on the 8th grade level. Only option is narcotics. Well, not as the only option, but there's only seeable option that they see for them, or the easiest route they take is a life in narcotics, or some young lady stripping in a strip club, start using alcohol and drugs at an early age. We know what goes on in the strip clubs and who own them. Who owns the strip clubs? And they targeting those young girls. When they after their life, guess what? What do they have left? They can't do nothing else at 23 after they've been in a strip club for 2 or 3 years. Who's Hitler now? So let's not get this shit confused. And I'm not saying that a strong border is going to solve our problems. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the president is doing his job by asking for a strong border. And we should hold our educators and our politicians accountable. And we won't do it or can't do it. Anybody say anything to them, they want to ostracize them and call them a coon like they did Steve Harvey. If you don't agree with them, you're a coon.